One of the most incredible feats a company can accomplish is making you stand in line. Now, this is not because they're just slow and they don't fulfill orders quickly, but this is because they have something that you want so bad, you're willing to wait with a lot of other people to get it. And we've seen examples of this throughout history from some of the greatest companies. For example, with Apple, if we go way back to the original iPhone, this is a photo taken from 2007, and we can see people are literally camped out with camping chairs waiting in front of an Apple store to get the original iPhone. Now, this became almost like a tradition. People waited outside every single year for the new iPhone. Over time, Apple has been a little bit better at fulfilling orders. And then, of course, we have online ordering, which has made the line go away. Now, looking at this, it's easy to believe that this is a bit silly. You may have scoffed at this, believing that these are just a bunch of dummies and who's wasting enough time waiting in a line for a consumer electronic. It's easy to have those thoughts, to believe that this really isn't meaningful. But zooming back to 2007, the returns of Apple since that point have been astronomical, and it shows that Apple created something special. Some people tried to buy other people's position in the line, paying them out of it. They wanted the iPhone so bad. That's what Apple created. And of course, we know the success of Apple over the following decade. Now, there's more recent examples of this. Just recently, we've seen McDonald's create a new concept called Cosmics. You can see it right there in the back right of this picture. The line for Cosmics on opening day was over 3 hours long. McDonald's has been around for a long period of time. For them to create something new that entices people this much, that's unique. That's a big accomplishment by McDonald's. Nobody likes waiting in line. So if you can create something that's good enough for people to wait in line for, that must be something truly special. Now, the next example I'm going to show is the most ridiculous example of a line that I've ever seen for basically any company ever. This is truly one of a kind, and it comes from a retailer, which is Costco. Well, here we are. We have the newest Costco opening in China. This is their 6th location opening in China, their latest one, and this is what it looked like on opening day. Let's go ahead and take a look. Look at these lines. Now, they have an organized line. They're anticipating this. You can see the zigzagging as they go through it, but it just continues on and on and on. There's not a couple hundred people. There's not a dozen like there was in front of the iPhones or a couple hundred in front of Cosmics. Thousands of people in line, zigging through the continuous lines like it's a theme park. Even in Disneyland, the lines are not this long. And again, this is to get into a warehouse that sells you stuff. That's what they're waiting for. I've seen a lot of different lines of people waiting for the next exciting product. They want to be the first one to get it. Whether it's the Xbox or PlayStation or the next Nike shoes drop, whether it's the next iPhone or the Cosmic line. Whatever the case may be, I've not seen any lines like this. This line of the newest Costco beats all of them. Let's go ahead and take a look at the report that shares some data here. More than 4 years after Costco's first store in the country caused a stir, shoppers in the southern metropolis of Shenzhen this week flocked to the US retailer's latest outlet on the Chinese shores. Costco's unveiled its new 44,500 square meter store in the city. That's square meters, 44,000. It's often dubbed as China's Silicon Valley. So I'm not familiar with the areas or provinces of China, but this is considered the Silicon Valley of China. It drew in large crowds in search of bargains and imported products. It's the US retailer's 6th store in the world's 2nd biggest economy, but it's the first foray into the southern coast of the country. So this is proving something for Costco, and something that's been proven time and time again. Everyone loves them basically everywhere. That's what Costco has proven. Unlike a lot of other retailers that struggle to move outside of the US, Costco has found success in Canada, Mexico, Europe, Japan. In fact, a lot of people thought they could not be successful in Japan because the Japanese people are very frugal. They live in small spaces. They have to travel to get to Costco's. How can they carry this stuff back to their apartments or homes? They're super successful in Japan. And here we have them having more success in different parts of China. The bottom line here is that Costco has proven that they are a dominant force globally, not just regionally. They're successful in every territory they move into. They say that this area is the headquarters of companies like Tencent and DJI, and it has a rapidly growing middle class. Costco loves moving into territories of the middle class. Shenzhen also has a population of over 17 million. And then here's another photo of the entrance of the store. Zigzagging line, a dense line that goes the entire part of the parking lot. You have a whole section here blocked off. Images on Chinese social media showed customers filling the aisles, many with trolleys loaded to the brim. A lot of people were buying the Lotso Hug 'n' Bear, the fluffy villain from Pixar's Toy Story 3. They have an image of it right there, and these carts are big, so that thing's massive. Social media was awash with images of people taking home the giant version of the bear, measuring 5 feet tall. A smaller version, less than half the size, sold out within hours. "I didn't expect to see so many people," Kim Lin, one of the first shoppers to enter on Friday, said. Lin, who had waited in line for an hour, said she was impressed because the staff helped her get fruit from a high shelf. It's good to know that the staff is helpful at Costco's even outside of the US. That's the experience most people have. But that's an important thing that they try to keep consistent with every store. They don't open up new stores if they don't have good people to run them. That's one of the limitations to Costco expanding. They would open up 50 locations a year in China, but they're limited by the amount of qualified managers. It's true that Costco faces intense competition, but they've been able to figure out something that other competitors have not. And this is evidenced by their continued demand. The fact that people get excited to visit them. In what case do people get excited to go to a retail location? It's few and far between. But Costco's are exciting. They're massive. They're almost a marvel to look at. You go inside and they're just incredibly huge and spacious. The inventory changes so rapidly. You never know what you're going to get. So it's a little bit of an Easter egg hunt, and it's more of a fun shopping experience. When you pair that with best-in-class customer service, extremely low prices, the best return policy, you have a recipe that's better than other retailers. And that's something that I think a lot of Wall Street misses. A lot of them look at Costco as being overvalued. They compare it to other retailers. They don't have nearly the same qualities. I own a lot of Costco. This is a stock that I've been bullish on for a long period of time. I've made video after video after video about this company because I believe so strongly in its long-term future. I own $58,000 of the stock and currently $23,000 of gains. Costco today trades at $680. It's up 40% over the past year, and it trades at a very high PE ratio, a very low free cash flow yield. So this company is more expensive now than it has been throughout its recent history. So I'm not buying it right now, but when I look at the evidence and the potential demand, I'm definitely not selling it. And I believe that there will be further continued demand in China. Lots of continued growth for a very long period of time. To put it in perspective, in terms of demand, if you were to have equivalent saturation in China that you do in the US, that would mean roughly 3,000 to 4,000 warehouses in China. That would be equivalent saturation. Currently, there's only 800 warehouses worldwide. So just in China, there is immense demand and immense growth potential. So I thought I'd share this. I thought it was interesting. Let me know what you think. See you in the next one.